A woman is in jail tonight accused of pushing her way into a Lexington home and trying to strangle the homeowner with her bra.
I mean, there's just a lot that's not being told there.
A Central Kentucky mother wants to get to the bottom of what happened during an incident that sent her sister to jail and her son to the hospital.
A 1,400-pound steer, a rodeo team, and an audience. Believe it or not, all of these things were seen here today on UK's campus after a steer escaped from a nearby building.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening. She's accused of forcing her way into a home and trying to strangle the homeowner with a bra.
31-year-old Ashley Seiss is charged with first-degree burglary. Police say she barged into a home on Harrogate Road and fought with the homeowner. Monique Blair tells us how the homeowner managed to get away. It's our top story at 6.
A 31-year-old woman faced a judge just a few hours ago for a first-degree burglary charge after police say she strangled another woman with a bra. 61-year-old Patricia Lease has bruises and scratches on her face, and her arms are scraped up from yesterday morning's attack.
It happened about 12:30 the other night. Somebody come to my door, was banging and screaming and hollering.
Lee says she unlocked the door because she thought it was her granddaughter, but it was actually 31-year-old Ashley Seiss. Lee says Seiss pushed her way inside, pulled out a clump of her hair, and then started choking her with a bra.
We sit and fought probably a good 15-20 minutes. So finally, I saw one of my chickens laying on the floor, so I picked it up, started bashing her in the head with it.
Lease was able to knock Seiss out. That's when she says she called police. Investigators say Seiss appeared to be on drugs, and she thought she was being followed when she showed up on Lease's porch.
She was going door to door hoping somebody let her in. And of course it was me.
Although still dealing with cuts and bruises, Lease says she's just happy to be alive.
I thought I was going to die that night. I really did.
Seiss pleaded not guilty today to that first-degree burglary charge, and she was appointed an attorney. Her next court appearance will be on April 6th. In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
In addition to first-degree burglary, Seiss could face additional charges.
Firefighters are at a large fire tonight in the Daniel Boone National Forest. It started this afternoon at a sawmill on Highway 713 near Frenchburg in Menifee County. You can see the smoke from the sky when Officer Don flew over in Sky First. Garrett Weimer has a look at the damage.
Crews from several counties, not just Menifee, but Montgomery, Morgan, and Bath County, as well as crews from the Division of Forestry, have been out here all afternoon fighting this fire. Firefighters say the fire started here at Farrell Sawmill around 12:15. It didn't take long for the wind to spread it, catching the forest on both sides of the road here on fire. In fact, the fire is still causing problems for some neighbors in the area, and crews from the Division of Forestry are still working to put out the fire near Amos Ridge. Firefighters said the wind not only spreads the fire, it also makes it harder on crews to fight it because of the smoke blowing everywhere. As for the sawmill, it's a total loss.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking for several reasons. We've got, employees that depend on this job, and, my father and my grandfather started this business, 26 years ago. And, it's heartbreaking to know that, you're going to have to rebuild or find something else. It's really heartbreaking.
The cause of the fire is still under investigation at this time. In Menifee County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
A worker at Farrell's told us an electrical problem might have started the fire at the sawmill.
She says she wants justice, even if that means her sister faces criminal charges. But a Central Kentucky mother still questions what happened exactly at a Garrett County home where police say her 14-month-old son was hurt while in her sister's care. Angela Spoonamore is accused of trying to make her nephew drink alcohol and then throwing him. Phil Pendleton talked to the child's mother in this Crime Tracker report.
Candy Daly received the phone call early Sunday morning no parent ever wants to get. The call to come to the hospital. Your son is hurt.
She had gotten drunk and thrown him down.
That's what police told her that witnesses at the home on Cardinal Circle in Lancaster said happened while Daly's sister, Angela Spoonamore, was watching him. Not only that, she says others at the get-together to watch the UK game said Spoonamore even tried to give the toddler alcohol.
I don't know what happened because I have a recording of one of the girls that signed statements. And I was told at first, she gave it to him, then she threw him to the floor, then she got up and he fell out of her lap.
This is the citation against Spoonamore. There's basically 3 different allegations on here and 3 different charges. The allegations being that Spoonamore was drunk, that she tried to give the toddler beer and rum in his sippy cup, and that she threw him down.
Come here.
Daly says her son did suffer a busted lip, but she questions how that happened.
I mean, there's just a lot that's not being told there.
Police say the investigation is still active and ongoing. Others were at the home, but Spoonamore was the only one arrested.
They should have never been drinking around my son.
In fact, Daly says when she left her son in her sister's care, there was no alcohol there. Several hours later, when she checked on him, Spoonamore was still sober. She says she had no idea anything was wrong until she got the phone call no parent ever wants to get.
And I do plan on doing my own investigation because this is my son.
In Lincoln County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Spoonamore faces 7 charges, including several felonies, but Daly tells us the only one she thinks her sister is guilty of is being drunk around her son.
Some frightening moments this morning when a car crashed into a home with a couple and their grandsons inside. The car ended up in a bedroom where one of them was sleeping. Lexington firefighters say the driver was trying to make a U-turn near the house when she lost control on East Hills Drive. The car went through the yard and straight into the home.
And then all of a sudden, bam, a car just crashes through us.
No one inside the home or the driver of the car was injured. Firefighters say the house is safe and the family can stay there.
It was quite the scene as a steer flirted with freedom today. Lexington and UK police scrambling to capture a steer that got loose on campus this morning. It took nearly 2 hours before a member of the UK rodeo team was able to catch it. Jordan Valines was there when the steer was finally caught and tells us what it took to rein it back in.
It's not every day the UK rodeo team gets the chance to practice outside of the training area, but Tuesday morning,
He said, hey, there's a cow out. Do you mind bringing me your rope? Let's go get this thing.
so he got his rope at the ready.
I didn't think I was going to be needing it until practice tonight.
And he and his friend put their lassoing skills to the test
I was kind of excited. I got out of class and I heard about it.
in this real-life rodeo.
When I was right here and that bull first started charging after we tranked it, I was probably 5 feet within it, and I mean, it was about to take me out.
He says corralling the steer wasn't an easy task.
Started running again.
Police blocked off roadways and tried to contain the growing crowds of onlookers who followed the steer several blocks into a nearby neighborhood. It took a team of people nearly 2 hours to finally rope the steer, but Adam Minker says that this real-life practice got a lot more physical than he would have liked.
And when I was tying it down and was going to tie my knot, the couch took off running, and I went to grab it and hold on, and then the rope just goes through, and when that rope goes, it just burns through skin.
For many of us, the steer chase seemed like a scene out of an old Western film, but for Minker, it wasn't anything too crazy. After all, this isn't his first rodeo. In Lexington, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
All right, with the help of Bluegrass Stockyards, the animal was sedated and returned to the facility unharmed. Another beautiful day in the Bluegrass for catching a steer.
That's right. It finally looks and feels like spring, but it wouldn't truly feel like spring if we weren't tracking a little rain. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has a first look at the forecast. Chris?
Yeah, that'll come later in the week as we rope ourselves some showers and thunderstorms on into town right now, dealing with some gusty winds and very mild temperatures. Look at the winds out there, coming down a few miles per hour compared to a few hours ago when we had some gusts around 35. Right now, Lexington, 26-mile-per-hour gusts. A couple of holes showing up around Moorhead, calm winds. London with a calm gust as well. It just means we're not getting those super high gusts at the time those measurements were taken. 71 Lexington, those 63 showing up into far northern Kentucky around the Covington-Cincinnati area. That is a weak front that is dropping in from north to south. Still dealing with a mainly blue sky out there with a little bit of high cloud cover, not producing any precipitation. Not going to be tracking anything tonight or even into the day tomorrow, though we will begin to change it up by the end of the week. After a nice start to April, showers, thunderstorms boom up as we go into Thursday and Friday. That'll carry us into the very start of that Easter weekend. That does look a little cooler. We'll break down the rain chances and that holiday weekend forecast when I come back here in about 10 minutes.
And we're just a few days away from that Final Four rematch on Saturday night. Kentucky taking on Wisconsin in Indy.
But before they hit the road, several Wildcats talked to the media today. Brian Milam tells us how they're getting ready for the big game. Brian?
Well, a year ago, the Cats and the Wisconsin Badgers met at the Final Four. It was Wisconsin who was the team expected to be there, not Kentucky. While in Dallas, the Cats were at times wide-eyed, and they admit they were just happy to be in North Texas. This time around, UK is the favorite to make 40-0 history, so there is some unfinished business to attend to in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I think last year we were maybe just excited to be there, really. And this year we're not going to be satisfied. We're a lot more satisfied this year. We're not the same feeling. We're going down there to win.
Last year, it wasn't expected. This year, it's expected from us. So, we're going down there to win. And last year, it kind of felt like we were just happy to be there.
Well, coming up in about 15 minutes, another guy who's happy to be there, Willie Cauley-Stein. The Cats and the Badgers will have more coming up a little bit later. Back to you.
Thank you, Brian. You can see Kentucky play Wisconsin Saturday. Tip-off is set for around 8:49 on TBS. And on TNT, WKYT's own Dave Baker, former UK player Rex Chapman, and UK grad and former WKYT sports anchor Michael Eaves will call the game for the Wildcats. You can watch their broadcast on TNT. Public safety leaders in Indianapolis are making security plans for the Final Four this weekend. The city's Homeland Security Director says they plan to look at Dallas, last year's host city, to see what they can learn from its safety plan. Law enforcement will be inside a security hub outside Lucas Oil Stadium to monitor what's going on inside. They also say they're monitoring social media for threats or plans for protests.
Thousands of UK fans, of course, will be making that trek to Indianapolis for the Final Four. If you don't have a ticket yet, you can still find some, but it's going to cost you a pretty penny. And on top of that, some of those tickets may not even be real. The Better Business Bureau says legitimate tickets are fairly easy to find as long as you're looking in the right places. They suggest using the NCAA's ticket exchange or a site like StubHub that will offer a guarantee.
Yeah, you'll miss the game, but at least you get your money back.
If you do run into a scam while buying tickets, the BBB asks that you report the transaction to them and police so that other fans can be warned about it.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
We now know Kentucky's argument for supporting the state's ban on gay marriage.
In a brief FOD with the U.S. Supreme Court, Governor Beshear's administration says the ban is not discriminatory because the law prevents gay and straight people from marrying someone of the same sex. Governor Beshear has said previously he favors a decision by the Supreme Court. Justices will hear arguments on April 28th on state marriage bans from Ohio, Kentucky, Michigan, and Tennessee.
The Kentucky Derby Museum is celebrating its 30th anniversary next month. The Louisville Museum will host a special It's a Party Day on April 11th, and admission will be just $2.50. That's what it cost to get into the museum when its doors opened back in 1985. They will also unveil several new showcases.